Hello, friends. Wish you all a very happy World Environment Day. Today is 5th of June 2020. And in this World Environment Day, let us all pledge that we will keep our environment safe. And as you can see, we are all going through a COVID-19 crisis, and this is basically an indication for all of us. It's a warning sign for all of us to keep our environment clean. So, as we go through and through the various chapters, the topic today we are going to cover is water pollution, which is a part under environmental pollution, which is chapter 3 of your masters in public health of your second year. So before going to all these things, let us understand the concept of water, as well as the how does water basically is being spread in the geographical area of the world. So as you can see from the slide, 71% of the earth's surface is covered by water, but only a very tiny fraction is available as fresh water. Okay, so 97% of the water is being found in the ocean, whereas only just 3% is being found as a fresh water. Out of this 3%, you will be astonished to know that 2.997% is logged within the ice caps in form of glaciers, whereas only 0.003% of the total volume is available as the soil water, or the water as in form of fresh water, which is available as a soil moisture, in groundwater, in form of water vapors, in form of water in the lakes, streams, water in the wetlands. If you take the entire earth's freshwater lakes, it is total of around 125,000 cubic kilometer. Okay, or in other ways, we are basically, when we represent it, it is in form of 30,000 cubic miles of water, which is present in form of rivers, streams, and within the basic source of all this water is in form of rain, snow, and sleet. Okay, so now you all know that this water is prone to get contaminated. That means we are causing water pollution. Now, water pollution is basically the adverse changes in the composition as well as the condition of the water, which makes it less suitable for human use. We have already referred it earlier. Okay, now as far as this damage is concerned, or this contamination is concerned, we can basically label it as in three ways. That means this contamination could bring about changes in three manner. It could be either physical, it could be chemical, or it could be biological. Okay, so as you can see from the slide, we have already contaminated our oceans, freshwater lakes, and we have already spoken like this primary source of drinking water is the groundwater, the surface water. Now, in terms of your sources of water pollution, okay, before coming on to the sources, let us understand like what is the impact of your water among the various matter. Now, as far as groundwater is concerned, you can see over here that groundwater is commonly available at the time of need. So this groundwater, because previously it is available in form of ponds. Okay, then there are kuas or wells in the villages. So these are the essence. Therefore, long pipelines were not necessary in the olden times. But as we moved from the agrarian society to an industrialized society, people started to live in the industrial belts. The slums came out in big cities, so all these things were required. So basically, it is normally the groundwater is normally free of suspended solids, bacteria and other disease organisms, and unless and until contaminated, it was fit for human use. But then, over a period of time, as we contaminated it, so there are other ways of purification in terms of boiling, filtration through porous vessels, because there's a concept of the filtering. Okay, and then over a period of time, people explored new methods such as chlorinization in the year 1908, which produced or provided a cheap reproducible way of maintaining the bacteriological quality of water and fit for human consumption. Okay, then if you can see, for what purposes do we use water? We use water, हम किस लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं? हम पर्सनल यूज के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं. We use water for our industrial use, for waste disposal, for recreation and the aesthetic, use, as well as for the irrigation purposes. And I hope you all understand what is basically is being used on. So as far as per day, you can see in the slide, we use for flushing in the toilet almost like 15 to 25 gallons of water is being used. And then so how much water we are using and what sort of a replenishing of the water is being taking place. This is basically a mismatch, and which is causing the water crisis. And you must have seen in the newspapers and various reports that the groundwater is slowly and very steadily depleting around the world. And you can take a lot of examples from Chennai every year, because there was, in India there were certain hotspots where maybe in another 5 to 10 years down the line there will be no water at all. So the situation is very serious, and therefore we should pay heed to all these crises. Similarly, like I now let us come to the types of water pollution. So as far as there are three main sources, because all these sources are basically, we can further divide into various paths, but the three main sources of water pollution is basically the industry. Okay, it is basically the municipal sewage and agriculture. So as far as industry is concerned, you all know there are industrial effluents. They are discharged directly into the rivers. Okay, you must have seen in around Faridabad near Badarpur, where all the sewage takes place in the form of nala, and it goes and get drained into Yamuna. Similarly, in West Bengal, the all the waste material from the various leather tanneries near the places like Ghatakpukur or near the Sundarbans, they get dumped into Sundarbans, and all the fertile land is being, it is seriously contaminated with heavy metals. So all the industrial waste are directly discharged, as I told you, in the rivers, and these are adding toxic chemicals to the water which are harmful for health. Similarly, like I told you, industrial effluents are also discharged into the sewage system, and sometimes they are discharged at a very high temperature. The heat and the chemical compound in these effluents, they severely or adversely affect the biological purification mechanism of the sewage treatment, and thereby it resulting in the treated sewage causes pollution when discharged into the rivers. As far as the municipal sewage is concerned, it is the second most major source of water pollution. Okay, I will come to, because all these things are also causing this marine pollution, groundwater pollution, but this is the primary source. So municipal sewage is basically the second major source of water pollution. It consists of decomposable organic matter and microorganisms, pathogens, non-pathogens. Okay, and as a result of which it contaminates the water. The third major source of water pollution is basically your agricultural source, and which basically includes your insecticides, your plant materials, your fertilizers, because then they are applied to the crops, they find their ways into the water system. So from here we come to this point. So like I told you, there are three major sources: industry, municipal sewage, and agriculture. And these things, these major sources are causing your surface water pollution, whether you are talking about rivers, lake, oceans, or in terms of marine pollution, like I told you, like large gyres of vortexes, which is basically the plastic debris. It is going, and the ocean pollution, it is causing ocean pollution, causing to its poisoning, and ultimately landing up into the stomach of the marine birds and animals. And similarly, like I told you, whether you are talking about municipal sewage or agriculture source of water, it is finding its way into the water system. And for example, the whole belt of Ropar in Punjab, it is being considered as a cancer belt, because they have put up so much amount of insecticides as well as fertilizers as well as other chemicals, that the entire ground level has become cancerous, and as a result of which the people are also getting cancer in a big manner. So in totality, if you see, like there are various types of water pollution. So water pollutants can be basically classified into two. One is your physical and chemical pollutants, and second is the biological pollutants. So before coming on to the physical and the chemical pollutants, we will be understanding what are the sources of water pollution. So these sources, like I have already said, it is the point source, like I said, it is the municipality, or a non-point source, that is the agriculture, acid rain. Then there are water soluble isotopes, okay, and there are hot water thermal plants, I've already discussed with you. Similarly, organic compound, which is basically coming out from the industries. Similarly, mining, agriculture waste, and sewage disposal. So as far as now, coming on to the water pollutants, I told you it is physical and chemical and could be biological. So here we are in this slide, you can see we are discussing about the biological pollutants. But before biological pollutants, like I told you, when you talk about the industrial chemicals, they basically include your organic and inorganic contaminants. Now, the mineral acids which are present in the discharges from the chemical industries, for example, the how are the companies like? They are basically like the battery manufacturers, electroplating, DDT manufacturers, and then organic acids are also present in form of rayon, leather, like I told you, in West Bengal, or in the dyeing industry. Okay, they contain various type of gaseous pollutants like ammonia, chlorine, hydrogen sulfide, ozone, phosphine, and this is all causing, these all chemicals are severely polluting the water resources. This is also causing eutrophication. You remember in the last class we discussed about the combined excess of the nitrates and the phosphates can cause nuisance over large stretches of the water, and this is known as eutrophication. And similarly, the seawater ultimately gets contaminated, and they can also get contaminated with, recently, yesterday only, in Russia, the huge stretch of the rivers as well as the lakes have been contaminated with oil tankers, and it would take almost like 10 years. Okay, I think you must remember, I think you remember the last time when the Gulf War that happened during 1991, and all the oil spillage took place on the oceans, as a result of which actually destroying the entire the eco diversity of the ocean. So this is basically your physical and the chemical pollutants. As far as the biological pollutants, you can see over here, these are also known as primary or the corollary pollutants. So the primary pollutants are the ones which are directly attributed to the man's activities, such as the bacteria and the viruses in the sewage system. Okay, so here you can see these are the disease causing agents, the viruses, the bacteria, the protozoa, the parasitic worms that enter water from the domestic sewer, and the untreated human and the animal waste. As far as the corollary pollutants are concerned, they are those which are not directly attributable to the human endeavor. What are these? These are basically your weeds and the algae. Okay, so all the bacteria and the viruses may be pathogenic or non-pathogenic. So among the pathogenic bacteria, they are basically your salmonella, like shigella, vibrio cholerae, leptospira, or the Pochurella tyrannis. So these type of bacteria or the pathogenic bacteria are there. Among the viruses, the most common is the polio virus and the hepatitis virus. So this is very very important. And as far as the combined chlorine is concerned, we have been using chlorine, like I told you, in 1908 it has been used in order for the purification. As far as the corollary pollutants are concerned, you can see in the slide we have talked about the oxygen depleting waste. So there are a large population of bacteria use up the oxygen which is present. At the same time, if it is being surrounded by algae and the weeds, it is also causing the amount is the biological oxygen demand. So what is biological oxygen demand? It is the amount of the oxygen required to break down a certain amount of organic material. So if there is too much of organic waste is added, all the available oxygen is used up, and the organism like fish can die. So this is what happens during when the biological pollutants form of primary and the corollary pollutants can damage the entire ecosystem in the water. Similarly, there are anaerobic bacteria, there is inorganic plant nutrients, and biomagnification also takes place. What is biomagnification? It is the process whereby certain substances such as pesticide or heavy metals work their way into the lakes, rivers, and oceans. We have already discussed about it. So from here we will come to the next slide over here. As you can see on the screen, like what are the effects of water pollution on the human health. Okay, so in order to understand, firstly we are going to understand like what is the effect of pollution on the quality of water. If the quality of the water is deteriorated, then automatically it will have a deterioration. For example, when the water pollution takes place, the color itself is not harmful, but the aesthetic consideration which is important, like for example the color of the water changes, okay, and it can impart various, for example magenta can impart red color at 0.02 ppm, or there are examples of certain inorganic substances like iron, है ना? In Bengal you will see the water is red. It is not fit for human consumption because there is too much of iron. And similarly, when there is a tannery waste which has been discharged into the streams with high iron content, then it gives a deep green or a bluish color. So in this manner, the polluters can change the color of the water. Similarly, the turbidity of the water, okay, that is also can be changed. And similarly, the foam, you can see foam is basically a form of suspension of air bubbles in the water medium, and primary cause is basically seen in form of your river as well as the sewage works, okay, that happens. Similarly, the taste of the water can also change in form of when your common industrial effluents are being put into this water in the water or the water sources, then basically iron, chlorine and phenols, they also change the taste. Similarly, odor, and likewise the industrial and the urban waste. Similarly, when you put up fertilizers, pesticides and other soil chemicals, then they also add to all these things. So if the water becomes basically contaminated, then it will have a impact on your human health. Now what is the impact of the human health? Human health impact could be divided into four type of diseases. It could be waterborne diseases, like we have already just spoken just a minute while ago. Like the various, it can cause the various bacteria, okay, which are there in the water, which can cause contamination of the water. Similarly, we also talked about the various other aspects, like for example schistosomiasis, okay. So I told you, like whether it is the pathogenic bacteria like salmonella, shigella, vibrio cholerae, so these are causing the waterborne diseases. As far as when the people basically use this water for swimming, okay, and then their skin might be contaminated with various type of parasites, such as this schistosomiasis, and it will penetrate the skin, and it can be contaminate the human body, and it can also cause water. These are known as water contact diseases. Then the water insect related diseases, for example in terms of malaria, yellow fever, west nile fever, okay. Now what happens in these cases, there's a very classical example, like 4% of the Amazon is being deforested. It has increased in 50% increase in malaria, because we are the ecological cycle is being disturbed, as a result of which there's a global warming, as a result of which increased temperature is adding to the more breeding of the mosquitoes, as we are playing with the nature. Similarly, there are the fourth type of diseases, the water wash disease, which results from the lack of sufficient water for personal hygiene and washing. And here shigellosis, trachoma and conjunctivitis are the very common examples. Then when we are saying the entire ecosystem, basically, as you know, it is relying on a complex web of animals, plants, bacteria, fungi, okay. So when we are depleting our natural resources, so it is causing a huge impact on the aquatic environment. It is causing a increase in the algal boom, like for example the corollary pollutants that we have just emphasized about, as a result of which the proliferation of these newly introduced nutrients basically stimulates the plant and the algae growth, which in turn reduces the oxygen level, again what we have just referred to as eutrophication. So this suffocates the plant and the animals and can create dead zones within the water, and these harmful algal blooms can basically produce neurotoxin that can affect the wildlife. And all sort of aquatic animals ranging from your whales to sea turtles all can be affected. And you, in the picture you can see like the algal boom, which you have experienced in a number of ways as you go through the road. Similarly, your marine ecosystem is strangulated. There are so much of debris in form of plastic bags, soda cans, and in the early 1980s, this thing was viewed in form of biomedical waste among the in the US, because there are a lot of biomedical waste in the ocean. And then after that, the entire concept, like how it has to be treated, how the root cause analysis has to be done. So there was there's a huge drive which went in the US to manage all these things. Similarly, these discarded fishing gear as well as other type of debris are harming more than 200 types of marine species. Similarly, there are other procedures where you have been seeing that we are burning basically a lot of fossil fuels, and oceans are becoming much and much more acidic over a period of time, which is also adding to this water pollution. So what is the means by which this water pollution has to be treated? Okay, what is the means? So it is very, very important. So in terms of water pollution, there are various methods by which you can take control of all these things. Now, for example, in terms of your the three sources which I just mentioned, what is the industrial source and the municipal sewage, as well as your biological. So in this thing, the important or the agriculture, the first is the municipal wastewater treatment. So as you know that municipal sewage is a big one, so it has to be typically treated by the centralized sewage treatment plants. There has to be a well thought of plan. It has to be well designed. Operating system has to be good, which can remove almost like 90% of these pollutants before putting this thing into the river resources. Similarly, the industrial wastewater treatment has to be good enough. The industries that generate these wastewater with high concentration of the organic matter, toxic pollutants, or the nutrients such as ammonia, so all these things has to be treated well. और आपने यहाँ पे जैसे देखा है कि देर आर सर्टन इंडस्ट्रीज जहाँ पे वो प्री ट्रीटमेंट सिस्टम्स को लगा के रखते हैं और वो पोल्यूटेंट्स को धीरे धीरे फॉर्म में निकालते रहते हैं। तो इससे बहुत हद तक पोल्यूशन का प्रिवेंशन होता है। बट जो चीज़ नज़र में आई है कि इधर इस तरीके के जो ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट्स हैं, या तो इसकी संख्या बहुत कम है। एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे जैसे अभी आपने पिछले साल जब कुंभ के मेले के बारे में सुना होगा, तो इट वाज वेरी हंकी डोरी ऑन द टॉप, ओके, बट व्हेन यू एक्चुअली सॉ आफ्टर अ मंथ और सो, तो देयर वाज अ ह्यूज केसेस जहाँ पे काफ़ी रिपोर्ट्स आई थी जहाँ पे ये बोला गया कि जो ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट्स हैं ठीक से या तो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, इसकी या तो कमी है, या और जो हैं वो ठीक से काम नहीं कर रहे हैं। सो इट इज़ अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इशू। द थर्ड थिंग दैट आई जस्ट टोल्ड यू, हमने कहा कि इंडस्ट्रियल हो गया, हमने बात की अभी म्यूनिसिपल सीवेज की, अब हम बात करेंगे एग्रीकल्चर वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट। तो इसमें अगेन नॉन पॉइंट सोर्स कंट्रोल्स के अंदर सेडिमेंट और वॉश्ड ऑफ फील्ड्स जो हैं वो लार्जेस्ट सोर्स ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर पोल्यूशन है, जो हमने यूएस में देखा है। तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि फार्मर्स में यूटिलाइज द इरोजन कंट्रोल्स बाय रिड्यूसिंग द रन ऑफ एंड रिटेनिंग द सॉइल इन द फील्ड। अब वो कॉमन इसके लिए टेक्निक्स क्या क्या यूज़ होती है, इसमें कॉन्टूर प्लाउइंग यूज़ होती है, इसमें बेसिकली मल्चिंग का टेक्निक यूज़ होती है, क्रॉप रोटेशन, ये अलग अलग तरीके हैं जिसके वजह से आप बेसिकली ये जो लूज सॉइल इसको वॉश अप होने से बचा सकते हैं। सिमिलरली जहाँ पे पॉइंट सोर्स की बात होती है वहाँ पे इस चीज़ का बड़ा ध्यान रखना पड़ता है। ऑल द फार्म्स विच हैज़ गॉट अ लार्ज लाइफ स्टॉक एंड द पोल्ट्री ऑपरेशंस, they are basically they are called the concentrated animal feeding operations or the feedlots in the US। तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि एनिमल स्लरीज आर बेसिकली यूजली ट्रीटेड बाय द कंटेनमेंट इन फॉर्म्स ऑफ द एनरोबिक लगून्स, और यहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्टेड वेटलैंड्स बनाए जाते हैं जो कि ट्रीटमेंट करने में, एनिमल वेस्ट को ट्रीटमेंट करने में काम आता है। सिमिलरली यहाँ पे क्या है कि राइट मिक्सचर ऑफ स्ट्रॉ एंड कंपोज एट अ हाई टेम्परेचर, इसके वजह से जो सॉइल है वो भी काफ़ी फर्टाइल और फ्राइबल मैन्यूअर की फॉर्म में इसको किया जाता है। ये अलग अलग टेक्नोलॉजिकल बेसिस है जिसके वजह से हम इन सब चीज़ों को कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं। उसके अलावा जो कंस्ट्रक्शन साइट्स हमने बताया वहाँ पे बेसिकली इरोजन कंट्रोल को बचाने के लिए अलग अलग टेक्निक्स यूज़ की जा सकती हैं। सिमिलरली डिस्चार्ज ऑफ टॉक्सिक मटेरियल जो कि इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्चार्ज है उसको उससे पहले हम लोग मोटर फ्यूल्स, कंक्रीट वॉशआउट को प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं बाय यूजिंग द स्पिल प्रिवेंशन टेक्निक्स। कंट्रोल प्लांट्स लगाए जा सकते हैं और इसमें बेसिकली प्री ट्रीटमेंट किया जा सकता है. एज फार एज द इफेक्टिव कंट्रोल ऑफ द अर्बन रन ऑफ, यहाँ पे हम लोगों को अलग अलग टेक्निक्स जैसे रिड्यूसिंग द वेलोसिटी एंड द फ्लो ऑफ द स्टॉर्म वाटर एज वेल एज रिड्यूसिंग द पोल्यूट. अब देखिए, आपने देखो बहुत मात्रा में पोल्यूटेंट निकल के आता है, तो इसको हम कैसे कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. इसमें पोल्यूशन के जो प्रिवेंशन पार्टिकल्स हैं, जिसमें कुछ टेक्निक्स हैं, जैसे जिसको बोला जाता है लो इम्पैक्ट डेवलपमेंट टेक्निक्स, इंस्टॉलेशन ऑफ द ग्रीन रूफ्स, इम्प्रूव्ड केमिकल हैंडलिंग मैनूवर्स, रन ऑफ मिटिगेशन सिस्टम्स. एग्जाम्पल के तौर पर जैसे इन्फिल्ट्रेशन बेसिस है, आपका बेसिन्स है, बायो रिटेंशन सिस्टम्स है, ये सब टेक्निक्स का यूज़ किया जाता है इसको. अब ये टेक्निक्स एक्चुअली हम कितना यूज़ करते हैं, इसके अंदर बहुत विविधता है बिटवीन द डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज एंड द डेवलप कंट्री. डेवलप कंट्रीज में दे स्ट्रिक्टली स्टैंड बाय ऑल दीज रूल्स क्वाइट अ लॉट, बट जबकि डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज में देर इज अ मॉकरी ऑफ ऑल द रूल्स irrespective ऑफ द रूल्स बीइंग देयर, बट देर इज अ nobody implements it in a strict manner. अब हम बात करेंगे कि वाटर पोल्यूशन सिचुएशन कैसे है दुनिया में राइट नाउ. और यूजली आपने देखा है कि हम जितना भी माइक्रोबियल पैथोजेंस है जिसके बारे में हमने अभी बात की, न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं, ऑक्सीजन कंज्यूमिंग मटेरियल, ये बेसिकली इसकी तादाद बढ़ती जा रही है, जिसके वजह से पूरा एनवायरनमेंट जो है वो कंटेमिनेट हो रहा है. 80% ऑफ द सीवेज जो है वो बेसिकली डिस्चार्ज अनट्रीटेड होके सीधा रिवर्स और लेक्स और कोस्टल एरियाज में गिराया जाता है. सो द कंडीशन इज एक्चुअली वेरी बैड. एंड WHO ने कहा है कि आउट ऑफ इंडियाज 3119 टाउन्स, जस्ट 209 के पास पार्शियल सीवेज सिस्टम है. इट इज़ सो मच डेंजरस. ये बहुत पुरानी रिपोर्ट आपको बता रहे हैं, बट इसके अंदर भी बहुत कुछ हुआ नहीं, क्योंकि आपके सामने कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स है. जैसे लास्ट 30 ईयर्स में गेंजेस वाटर प्लान जो बनाया गया था कि गंगा रिवर को साफ करने के लिए या यमुना को साफ करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने ह्यूज 30,000 करोड़ एंड बिग अमाउंट ऑफ मनी हैज़ बिन स्पेंट, बट स्टिल नथिंग हैज़ बिन डन. ये तो अभी रिसेंटली आपने देखा है जैसे न्यूज़ में कि कोरोना की वजह से जब सारी एक्टिविटी स्टॉप हो गई, तो गंगा ने और यमुना ने अपने आप को खुद क्लीन अप कर लिया. एंड द सिचुएशन इन द लास्ट 2 months हैव बीन वेरी गुड. सिमिलरली जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया था एयर पोल्यूशन के टाइम में, तो एयर पोल्यूशन भी हर साल बहुत तरीके के मेथड्स लाइक इवन ऑड मेथड्स यूज़ होता था, जबकि कोरोना का इम्पैक्ट इस तरीके से हुआ एनवायरनमेंट के ऊपर पॉजिटिव कि एनवायरनमेंट ने अपने आप को काफ़ी क्लीन कर लिया. सिमिलरली सीवेज डिस्चार्जेस जितने हैं उसको हम कैसे ट्रीट करते हैं, उसके लिए हम इन्वेस्टमेंट क्या करते हैं, इस गैप को कैसे हम भरते हैं, हम मैन पावर को कैसे इस्तेमाल करते हैं, हम अपने इंडस्ट्रियल पॉलिसीज़ कैसे बनाते हैं, हम फ्लडिंग और इस तरीके के जो इश्यूज़ हैं या हम कैटास्ट्रॉफ्स को किस तरीके से मैनेज करते हैं, ये बहुत बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है इन टर्म्स ऑफ मैनेजिंग द वाटर पोल्यूशन. और जैसे कि आप इस स्लाइड में देख रहे हैं कि मेजर सिटीज़ इंडिया की जितनी भी हैं, दे ऑलमोस्ट प्रोड्यूस लाइक 38,354 मिलियन लीटर्स पर डे ऑफ सीवेज, और जिसमें से जो ट्रीटमेंट होता है वो सिर्फ 11,786 मिलियन लीटर्स पर डे का ही ट्रीटमेंट होता है. जिसके वजह से क्या हो रहा है कि BOD धीरे धीरे कम होता जा रहा है. और यहाँ पे हमने स्लाइड में देखा है कि जो अलग अलग हमारी रिवर्स हैं वो पोल्यूट हो रही हैं, जिसमें आपका मार्कंडा रिवर, काली रिवर, यमुना है ना, बेटवा. तो इस तरीके से ये डिसेंडिंग ऑर्डर्स में ये हो रहे हैं, और जैसे जैसे BOD कम होगा वैसे वैसे उसकी जो लाइफ है वो कम हो जाएगी, और उसके वजह से ऑल आर वाटर बॉडीज आर सीवियरली पोल्यूटेड, है ना, वो दैट इज़ नॉट बेसिकली फिट फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन. और सिमिलरली आपको और एग्जांपल्स दें, जैसे कोलीफॉर्म बैक्टीरिया हो गया, और हाईएस्ट फीकल कोलीफॉर्म बैक्टीरिया इज बीइंग फाउंडेड इन द गेंजेस, जहाँ जो बेसिकली खागरा रिवर इन द बहरामपुर इन वेस्ट बंगाल, और वो 12 टाइम्स जो है परमिसिबल लेवल से, या 12 to 60 टाइम्स हाई है फॉर ह्यूमन कंजम्पशन. सो दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी पे हीड टू ऑल दीज थिंग्स. और इससे पहले कि चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल चला जाए, it is important and at most necessary, and immediate measures have to be taken in order to prevent all form of water pollution. तो मेरे ख्याल से आपको ये सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स अच्छी तरह समझ आए, है ना. डू राइट टू अस, ओके, वॉच द वीडियोस, एंड इन केस यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस, प्लीज फील फ्री टू आस्क. So in the next class again we will come out with another type of a pollution which is there in the subject, and we'll get back to you soon. Thank you so much.